complexity to which decision trees can grow. You also saw color coding outcomes. However, this tree alone is very difficult to ensure that every possibility was created because it's so large and you have different branches. You only show the decisions that have outcomes. Well, this is where decision tables come in. Decision tables show the same information as decision trees, but in tabular form. In the table, there's a column for each distinct set of decisions and choices a user can make. The top left is for the decisions, and the bottom left is for the outcomes. Here, this is the same example as in the decision tree, where you just have 3 decisions that lead to 4 outcomes. This, however, is a condensed version. For the mathematically minded, you can see that this could quickly lead to a very large table because each set of choices and decisions get its own column. So to have the proper number of columns to ensure that you do every decision, you would have 2 to the n, or in this case, 2 to the 3, which would be 8. We only show 4 here. So let's see the decision tables for the same 2 examples we had for the decision tree. First, the family weekend. Pretty simple. You have the weather forecast, then your choices are sunny, cloudy, or rainy, and then you have your 3 choices of beach, museum, or movie. Here, we put slashes in each of the boxes that don't exist, just to make sure that we've considered every outcome. However, this table is not very informative. Now, when we move to the bigger Choose Your Own Adventure table, shown here, this is only a piece of the table, and I know you can't read it, but there are a lot of decisions which lead to many, many rules. But there's only 4 basic outcomes. It's much larger and more complex. Now I've condensed this again with the lines so that you don't see every combination, because if you did, it would be even bigger than it already is. However, it is easy, well, somewhat easy if you could read it, to choose an outcome of the 4 and then trace back to see what decisions you could make. This leads to some advantages and disadvantages of trees or tables. So which one would you use? Given a choice. Decision trees are prettier, they're easy to walk through with stakeholders, and they're easier to make because they follow, your thought process. However, they're hard to trace backwards if you want to choose an outcome and go to the decisions, and it's difficult to ensure that you have every combination considered. Also, there's the size. As we saw with the Choose Your Own Adventure book, it can get huge, 6 pages or more. But on the other hand, for decision tables, they can show you the quick view, everything not necessarily in 1 page, but everything really quickly. They have backwards traceability where you can choose an outcome and view the choices. You can run some statistics if you only have a couple outcomes, and you can ensure completeness by having a column for every single choice. However, again, these get big, they're harder to review with your stakeholders, and they're just not as pretty. So in reality, you should use both together. Possibly decision table first, and then decision tree to walk through with your stakeholders. So there you have it. The next time you hear a bunch of if-then statements coming from your stakeholder's mouth, consider using decision trees and decision tables. If you want to learn more about decision trees and decision tables, look at chapters 16 and 17 in Visual Models for Software Requirements.